Looks like cucumbers are starting to sprout as well. Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. Out here in the greenhouse, my day off. Been working out in the yard, getting things set up for potatoes and, you know, as much as possible. So I don't know if you guys are aware of the tariff war. Holy crap. I really hope you guys have been putting back as much as possible, especially food, any type of extra finance that you can, because things are going to be going up, not just on our food. And that is going to be a big thing. But rent, power, utilities, I mean, everything's going to go up. I shouldn't say utilities, that is power, water, items, furniture, lumber, you know, things that we buy on a daily basis or weekly basis that, you know, a little expensive as it is. I'll get ready for it to all go up some more. So the tariff wars is what I'm calling it anyway. I'm pretty sure someone else has already coined it that. The United States has sent 25% tariff on Canadian products and also Mexico products. So if they want to sell in the United States, it's going to cost 25% more for us to purchase those items, which is going to make the American people say, hey, you know what, we're just going to shop here in the good old United States. The biggest problem with that, guys, as much as I love the idea of industry back in the United States, we don't have the industry here. This is why we're having imports. We have to bring in stuff all the time. All right. Response to this, I saw Trudeau said they're going to be doing a 25% tariff on American goods. Yeah, so if people in Canada wants to buy American products and everything from beer, toilet paper to furniture, lumber, whatever, get ready for a 25% increase if you're going to purchase that. Same goes to Mexico. Mexico came up with the same thing, 25% tariff. If you want to buy Mexican products or American products in Mexico, you got to pay 25% more tariff. Yeah, this is not helping anything. There might be some grand scheme of things. I do admit I am not an economic degree expert like hashtag numbnuts, but layman's term, looking at things and looking at how the economy currently is, it seems like I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can explain in the comment section better to me, because what I'm seeing is that the cost of everything's fixing to go up, and our economy is still suffering from 4 years of a bumbling idiot. My thoughts. So, again, out here in the greenhouse, electricity is not free. Thank goodness I invested in before in solar generators and solar power. All right, our own standalone solar system. These grow lights, they use a lot of power. All right, but I feel like this necessity with these new sprouts coming up, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, I've never really grown with a grow light. I've always done everything with the sun, but it's still considered a winter down here in Northwest Florida. That's why we're kind of starting things off here in the greenhouse, take it outside, start working on hardening and stuff, and doing container gardens out here in the yard. Anything I can do to help supplement. You know, it was one thing to learn the process in case of SHTF, full-blown food shortages. Hey, we've got to grow our own stuff. Yeah, we have food and supplies put back, but those canned goods and dry goods, long-term storage food that lasts 25 years, is designed to keep us alive between growing season, while we're growing, while we fail, whatever. Now I'm looking at this whole project that we're doing here at the house as just trying to supplement our bills as far as food intake. Now it's going to take a long time for any of these sprouts to, well, many of them haven't even sprouted yet. We started last week. It's going to take a long time before the stuff even is ready to harvest. And even if it's viable to harvest, I could mess up and plant die. You know, I'm no expert. I just show you what we do. Something you guys might want to think about looking at. Now, unfortunately, starting a garden from scratch is quite a bit of income to start one. And the uptake of starting up a garden is a lot. Now there's some cheap ways of doing it, absolutely. 5-gallon buckets for containers work great. If you have to go with a cheaper soil, you don't have access to soil, you know, there are some cheap options out there. I know there's going to be some expert gardeners that'll say I'm crazy saying this, but even Walmart has a big old bag of topsoil. Now, it's not perfect for potting, but there is nutrients in that. The reason I know, well, that's what I'm testing out right here. But we're also mixing in a compost that we started making here. And trust me, it was very difficult to start composting in the wintertime. It really was. But we're blending it and we're trying to make our own soil, see what works, what doesn't. So far, so good. Now, do I have some backup stuff? Yeah, let me go grab it. And I know everyone's fixing to chastise me for this. This is Miracle Grow. This is an all-purpose one. This is one that's for vegetables, and it's also for flowers and whatever you can throw at it. I've used that stuff in the past and had amazing results. It's up to you if you want to have something like that. I know having more concentrate fertilizer and mixing up exactly what you need and check a pH balance and all that stuff is probably the best way to do it, and scientifically it is, or it should be botanistically something. Big words, I don't know them. All I know is what works for me and what doesn't. If we don't have to use any type of plant food, that'd be great. I've got a freezer slap full of fish. This past year, I took time after work, would be fishing all night, loading up our deep freeze. I want to make sure we had food. I know fish works great in gardens. All right, so, well, certain plants. Something to be thinking about. If you wanted to start something like this, guys, again, the greenhouse itself, 96 bucks. The lumber that I used to frame up, another 100 bucks. I got some rebar that we used to drill a hole and anchor into the ground 18 inches. That way the greenhouse doesn't go flying off. Bought some conduit clips to actually anchor this down. I also bought some extra PVC piping. That way I can build additional hoops just to tighten up the fabric. Now, is it foolproof? No. I'm in Northwest Florida. This is a very cheap greenhouse. Again, startup costs $230 bucks. And then soil, containers. I mean, I'm using everything from containers, soda bottles. These things here, I think I got like 20 in a pack for like $6. Seeds. Now, we did have a lot of seeds from our last grow that we did, and it had been a few years we had grown out in the fields, and we showed how to save to seed. A lot of these is that. Now, there are some that we did have to purchase because I never growed any, and now we're going to give it a try here. So I am concerned. I am. I'm very glad that we have worked hard in putting as much back as we could. You know, people look at preppers like we're hoarders, we're getting more than our share when we go buy stuff at the store. It's an open market, people. All right, they send a lot of food. When they see an uptake in sales, they start manufacturing more or jack up the price, capitalism, whatever. We make sacrifices. Instead of going out for lattes or what have you, we cut that out. We brew our own coffee at the house. I put it in a thermos and I take that to work with me. All right, I make my own lunch. Some days I don't have a lunch, just whatever we're trying to cut cost on so we can put more supplies back. And to be honest, I gained a little bit of weight. That's because I got lazy. All right, I have injuries in my body, and comfort food is just that, comfort food. So it doesn't hurt me to skip a meal every once in a while. I want to encourage you guys, look outside the box and things. If you don't want to do gardening and stuff like that, I'm not saying you have to stock up as much as you can now before the price gets crazy stupid. You know, when we sell eggs, I started deep freezing our eggs, and there's many different ways of storing eggs. We did videos on deep freezing our eggs, good for a year. Now, again, there's many ways of storing them. I'm so glad we did, because the price of eggs right now is freaking stupid. We're actually using those products. All right, now we have a lot of powdered eggs from some of our affiliates, Nutrient Survival. We have all kind of different affiliates with many different long-term food storage places. And that stuff's not cheap. But to be honest with you, I'm looking at what I paid for a tote number 10 can of Nutrient Survival vitamin fortified eggs versus what I'm paying for a 12 count egg now. And I'm like, actually, the better deal was the powdered eggs. It sucks. This is why we prepare. We prepare for events. No one has a crystal ball, all right? We look at things. We see what's moving in a direction. We see what political structures are doing. And I know people don't like me talking down about the new president. I'm not talking down about anybody. I say I don't trust any government official. None. None. So it doesn't matter who's in office. I don't trust them. Okay? This right here was his pawn move. Other countries are now reacting, and the American people are going to suffer for it. The fact is, guys, we do not have the industry here yet. It'd be different if the industry manufacturing was here in this country. Then yeah, go for it. Build this country back up. But when we don't have the infrastructure set up, that's just hurting the people that rely on the stuff. Walmart, I shop there all the time. You may know it as Chai Mart. I usually get more bang for my buck. In other words, I can take $20 in and get a lot more food than if I go to Publix, Winn-Dixie, wherever. Okay? That's going to change. All of this is going to change. Anyway, guys, I just want to encourage you to buckle down, cut costs if you can. Really look at that budget, cut costs, because you're going to need it. Right here at the house, we had to sign our new lease because we're renters. Surprise, we're charging an extra $800 a year to stay in the same place that you rented last year. And by the way, thank goodness you're good tenants. Here's your reward, because the cost of everything just went up. Our power bill, it went up. Our water bill, it went up. Still same usage. We still supplement a lot of our powers, like all this stuff out here. It's not coming off our power grid. It's coming off our solar grid that we built. It's coming off of solar generators. And it's the constant work. It's not the biggest system, but I make it work. So get ready for it, guys. Nothing's going to get easier. I'm not going to sit there and go on and on about I told you so, or it's just frustrating when I kept seeing all the he's going to save the country, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. He might have a plan of doing things, but the fact is it's not set up that way. I hope that our new president can make some major reform in this country and get it back on track. Absolutely. But what I'm seeing right now with this tariff stuff, it's not good. And again, the reason being, because we don't have the manufacturing here. We don't have the industry to support this move. But that's my thoughts, guys. Our economy was shit with the previous president. Yeah, Bumbledork. He was completely detached. This here, you know, leave your thoughts. Put it in the comment for me. Like I said, I might be missing something. But from my understanding of this, we're all going to be hurting. And we're going to be hurting in a big way very soon. So again, I hope you've been prepping. Take the time now to go over those finances and look at what you do not have to be doing. Because you can have all the food in the world, but if they jack up your rates on your home, water, lights, all these things, and you do not have the income coming in because your job, sorry buddy, we can't give you a raise. Now what? Say you're already working 2 jobs. What are we gonna do? Work 3 jobs? Get 2 hours of sleep a night? Yeah, that'll work good for a little while. Eventually you're gonna burn yourself out. Alright guys, just be safe out there. Really look at this. I'll speak to you later.